understands the value of living in the Wenatchee Valley. Let's begin your real estate story.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So turn here.
Hurry in and save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires, plus get an extra $50 off with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
And we are back. Welcome to Wake Up Wenatchee Valley May Cause Drowsiness. On this 21st day of June 2023, summer is almost here. It'll be here in 58 minutes. And on top of all that, it's Wednesday. As performed by Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Diana Ross. There is the theme to Winning Wednesday. We're back at it because it's Wednesday and it's what we do around here. We give stuff away. It's a Wenatchee Valley tradition since 2022. And up for grabs today, and you're going to meet Randy from the tap room at Hellbent Brewing at the Pybus Public Market, and we have ourselves a $50 gift certificate to the tap room at Hellbent Brewing, one of the fine establishments that have decided to call the Pybus Public Market home. We interviewed Randy last month. Good guy, good food, good beer, just plain good. Don't take my word for it. If you win this, you get $50 of whatever it is that you want to do at the tap room at Hellbent Brewing at the Pybus Public Market. Send me your email, winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com. You email me. That's how you go about doing these things. Winner@ncwlife.com, 1 entry per email address. You know the rules by now. If you have more than one email address, you can enter more than once, but you can't enter continuously on the same email address. Employees of local telecommunications solely on broadcasting and their immediate families are not eligible. Sorry, Jordan. If you do not enter the contest, you cannot win the contest. You must enter in order to win. Winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com, $50 gift card from the tap room at Hellbent Brewing, and you're going to love the conversation we had with Randy, who runs the joint. Good guy. We'll have that for you a little bit later on in the program. Also, a little bit later on in the program, our conversation with Joel Norman. We do it every Wednesday. Broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Apple Sox. They got rained out against Kamloops last night. There's been a lot of rain in central British Columbia. A lot of rain over the last couple of days. So no baseball last night. They'll play a single game today, then a doubleheader on Thursday, but it's always good to check in with Joel to talk about Apple Sox baseball. They are very good this year. Summer solstice, 7:58 this morning. It's actually going to go on during this program. I don't think that's ever happened. But the sunrise and sunset hasn't changed. It's been the same for the last couple of days. It'll be the same today. It'll be the same for the next couple of days. Sunrise is at 5:04, sunset 9:01, 15 hours and 57 minutes of daylight. We begin with our tour around the valley at 3 minutes after the hour. And good morning to the valley proper from our Wenatchee Heights camera. Only 66 yesterday on Tuesday. It was chilly. I wore shorts to work, and I'm an idiot. It was cold. It was very cold for this time of the year. We're going to start rebounding temperature-wise today. We'll be back up close to normal today, and then we're in for a very nice weekend to kick off summer 2023. The Upper Butte camera is pointed towards Waterville this morning, so that's the camera on top of the Chelan Butte, but we have it pointed almost due east, so that's up on the Waterville Plateau. You can see just a little smidgen of the Columbia River down there. And outside of that, we usually don't do that. If we point this camera, we move it about 45 degrees to the left, we would see Chelan proper, but instead, why not? is pointed in another direction. So that's the camera from on top of Chelan Butte, about 4,200 feet above sea level, but it's actually pointed due east. A rare treat there. Let's see what's going on at the roundabout. Well, there it is. Almost done with that thing. They're working on it hard. They're getting it almost done. They still got to put the artwork in there. It has been a considerable pain in the butt for those folks who normally take that intersection on a regular basis, but they're almost there. And then we have our first double roundabout. Can't wait to see the complaints on social media on that. Good morning to our friends out in Old Station. And a unique view from our Badger Mountain camera. Normally, we have that pointed towards the Wenatchee Valley. We don't. I don't know where that's pointed at, quite frankly. It's the Badger Mountain camera. What we're looking at is I don't know. I think it's pointed due east, kind of like the Upper Butte camera. Anyway, I asked Uriah what direction the Badger Mountain camera is pointing, and he said that way. So we got that all cleared up. For you folks to the north of us in our viewing area, you have a little bit of a chance of a thunderstorm today. It's going to skip by us for the most part. There's still some unsettled air out there, but that deep trough of low pressure is already beginning to slide further and further south. It's now over central Oregon, so we're now at the very tip of that. But there's still enough unsettlement in the atmosphere that the folks in the northern Washington part have about a 25% chance of a pop-up thunderstorm during the warmest part of the day, anytime between noon and 9, but probably if it happens at all in the 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock hour. We're going to miss the thunderstorms for the most part. Thank you very much. And then a nice gradual warming trend with temperatures returning to above normal for the weekend. From the National Weather Service, it looks something like this. 75 today, so a good 10 degrees warmer than it was yesterday. Just a few clouds rolling in. There's one last little system that's going to kind of pop in and pop out. No big deal. So we'll have some sunshine this morning. It'll be fairly cloudy this afternoon, but we'll take that temperature anyway. 54 for the overnight low tonight, and then nothing but sunshine. As high pressure returns to 79, we go on Thursday. We kick off your weekend with a beautiful day for everybody. Just a nice light wind. 84 to 88 on Saturday. We close out the weekend with 89 on Sunday. The first weekend of the summer is looking good. Of course, now the days are going to get gradually shorter, but so gradual it is almost imperceptible and will be for the next 10 days or so. Summertime is almost here. 6 minutes after the hour, after a quick break, your news. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
I chose a career at Kuntz South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Kuntz South. Come grow with us.
This is it. The RV sales event of the year is happening now at the Town Toyota Center during the Summer Getaway Sales Event. Choose from the best brands, Grand Design, Flagstaff, Thor, SMC trailers, and more. Over 600 RVs to choose from. Payments just $239 per month and $2,000 over JD Power for your trade-in. Plus, get a Yeti cooler and Traeger grill with your purchase. Don't let these summer deals get away. 5 days only, June 16th through the 20th. The hottest deals at the Summer Getaway Event. Now at the Town Toyota Center, just off Walla Walla Avenue. Hurry in today.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
High clouds, 55 degrees, mid to upper 70s today. Into the 80s we go. Lots of sunshine. A good-looking forecast heading right into the weekend. It's 9 minutes after the hour. Police say 2 registered nurses who were engaged to be married were the ones who were shot and killed by a gunman outside the Gorge Amphitheater on Saturday night, and the suspect is an active duty member of the Army stationed at Joint Base Lewis McChord. 29-year-old Brandy P. Escamilla and 26-year-old Jocelyn S. Ruiz were both shot and killed as they were walking through the campground outside the Beyond Wonderland Festival. 26-year-old U.S. Army Specialist James M. Kelly, allegedly the person who opened fire. 3 people were wounded in the incident, including a 20-year-old woman who was attending the concert with Kelly. An undercover Moses Lake police officer opened fire, striking Kelly once. Kelly was released from the hospital in Spokane yesterday. He's since been booked into the Grant County Jail. No formal charges have yet to been filed as of last night. An explorer with ties to the Wenatchee Valley is appealing for help in that effort to rescue the 5 people stranded in the Ocean Gate submersible that's been lost since Sunday near the wreckage of the Titanic. Trent Tresh, he has family in East Wenatchee and researches human performance in aerospace and underwater conditions. He's also a member of the Explorers Club, which includes a passenger now feared lost in the North Atlantic expedition. He asked everybody to support efforts to get the best possible equipment to the rescue site off the coast of Newfoundland.
Back in 2019, I was actually able to dive with the organization as they're based out of Everett, Washington, and got to know their team and things as well over time. But more importantly to me right now is a friend of mine is actually on the submersible, Hamish Harding, as well as others who are also a part of the Explorers Club. And time is really of the essence, and what we're trying to do is get our Congress people and our state representatives to help push through the permitting for Magellan. So, they have, as far as I'm aware and have been told, this UROV loaded on an airplane, ready to come to the States and help with the efforts. But we actually need to give them permission as the U.S. to be able to do so. So I'm hoping that everybody listening will pick up their phones and either call their local representative or send over an email.
Wenatchee residents are going to see a lot of police and fire and first responders hanging around Wenatchee Valley College on Friday, but don't call 911. There's no need to worry because the college, Confluence Health, the Wenatchee School District, and regional police, fire, and EMS agencies getting together for safety training exercises together. They're going to be simulating an active shooter incident with volunteers playing the roles of patients depicted with injury makeup and vital signs indicated on cards. The idea is to allow for first responders to address the simulated threat and to have volunteer patients sent to Confluence Health to allow medical staff to practice triaging, treating, and managing an influx of wounded patients. Confluence Health Emergency Preparedness Coordinator Jean-Michael DePena says that while they hope the training is never needed, obviously, it's important for the community partners to prepare and identify areas that could use some improvement. The Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority wants to hear more about what you want for that proposed regional sports complex. Last week, the consulting firm of Barry Dunn held a stakeholder meeting with focus groups and 2 open houses. They're gathering feedback from the community. Next step is an online survey for residents to provide even more feedback and ideas. The idea is to allow participants to comment on current facilities and to post suggestions on something they call an online idea wall. The survey is still part of phase 1 of the project. Survey will be up and running through September. If you're interested in sharing your thoughts, you can find the survey on the Chelan-Douglas Regional Port Authority's website. We put a link, by the way, on our website, ncwlife.com. The Department of Natural Resources Commissioner Hillary Franz was in the Wenatchee Valley on Monday. She was here to address the annual convention of the Washington State Council of Firefighters. And during her visit, she dropped by our studios here for an interview with our very own Jefferson Robbins. And you can see that full interview on Friday here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Among the topics of conversation, DNR's air attack strategy for tackling wildfires.
Well, DNR's air fleet response has been pretty quick. From our point of view, we've seen the planes flying when there's been a fire incident in the area. And I know that was one of your key projects within the last 5 to 7 years. You said our air fleet is old. We run risks of, losing some air capability. We want to bring that up. How's progress? Are you pleased with that fleet? Is it where you want it to be?
Yeah, so let me just say there's a number of things we did. First, we did, when I came in this role in 2017 after the horrific fires of 2014 through 2016, we had a very aged fleet of 8 Vietnam War helicopters. And it was clear that we weren't going to get any new resources until we really leveraged the ones we had. And so we leveraged those quickly on initial attack. The moment there's smoke in the air, instead of wasting time sending a fire engine out to respond, right? We sent our aircraft immediately, get on those fires quickly, contain them, put them out. Yet 8 isn't going to go very far, right? And so we have been pushing to increase the number of air resources we have and also get more modernized fleet in, not just those Vietnam War helicopters. So specifically, and I think this is actually really telling. So in 2021, we were coming off the Labor Day firestorms of 2020. We all remember that, where we had 56 fires in 24 hours. We had, in 72 hours, we had 600,000 acres burned because we had hot, dry landscape. We had hurricane force winds, and we had a lot of people out there, enjoying nature and unfortunately, sometimes starting fires. We were putting all hands on deck trying to get every air resource we could at the federal level. Unfortunately, California and Oregon were also on fire at the same time. And so as we made those calls to get more aircraft, we weren't able to because they were already being utilized in much more high population centers. 2021, as Washington State was going through its worst drought and Western United States was all in drought, I changed the way we secured our aircraft. Instead of going to sort of having our own fleet and then doing call when needed with private companies, we went to exclusive use. So instead of me hoping that those resources would be available in our time of need, I made sure we had them under our control at all times. And that's when we moved in 2021 to 37 aircraft, where we have them predisposed, in areas that we know are likely to have fires so that we can get on those fires quickly, contain them, and move on to the next one. We will have 37. We already have 37 that are going to be distributed throughout the state in those high-risk areas, literally covering the entire state of Washington. What that's enabled us to do, as you said, more and more resources. We'll have a significant fire, and you might have 8, 10, 12, 15 on that fire, and we'll have multiple spot fires that are happening constantly throughout the time you're on that fire. We can pull one off really quickly, go put that one out, get back on the fire. And that has enabled us to actually exceed our goal of keeping 90% of our fires below 10 acres to achieving 94% of our fires below 10 acres, even in some of the worst years like 2021.
And finally, on this Wednesday, downtown Wenatchee has a new sculpture to honor a longtime patron of the arts and an educator and one classy lady. We miss Roseanne Lynn. She passed away 4 years ago. She was a teacher in the Wenatchee School District for years, and she also was the coordinator of the outdoor bronze sculpture program for Art on the Avenues. And there is the sculpture. It's by artist Kevin Patel. It's called Roseanne's Tango, and it sits near the community fountain in downtown Wenatchee, just outside the America Performing Arts Center Plaza. The Wenatchee Downtown Association unveiled the artwork on June 3rd as a tribute to Roseanne Lynn's memory, and a classy lady she was, and we miss her. That's the news. At 17 minutes after the hour, tune into the news tonight at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5, 6, and 10 on television, on our Facebook page at 5 o'clock, on our YouTube page at 5 o'clock, on our homepage at 5 o'clock. And I think I got it all. And if you have a news tip, get a hold of us, call us, email us, drop us a note via our website or via our Facebook page. Mariners lose to the Yankees in the Bronx. No baseball up north for the Apple Sox. They were rained out. Sports in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
Thanks to Les Schwab Tires, I'm a confident backseat driver, but Mom's a little stressed about spending. Remember, deep breaths and watch your speed. Even though we're watching our wallets, Les Schwab is still watching out for our safety. So let's start here.
Hurry in and save up to $200 on a set of 4 tires, plus get an extra $50 off with financing. Les Schwab Tires.
What's the best way to attract a wide variety of beautiful birds to your backyard? By offering the birds the right foods in expertly designed bird feeders from Wild Birds Unlimited. Whether you've been feeding the birds for a while or are just getting started, let our backyard bird feeding specialists show you how to add a little joy to your life and make nature a part of every day. Shop now for exclusive bird foods, feeders, hardware, and more. Wild Birds Unlimited. Products designed by experts. Trusted local advice.
Whether you're just dipping your feet or plunging right in, boating with a Sylvan pontoon boat is the way to go at Bob File Boats and Motors. Sylvan pontoon boats offer performance, reliability, and stability to take you, your family, and friends to the water in style. Sylvan pontoon boats have a wide variety of styles and layouts to suit your needs. See the full line of Sylvan pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com.
20 minutes after the hour on this winning Wednesday, it was a pitcher's duel in the Bronx last night, and the Yankees got the better part of the Mariners. The final was 3-1. Garrett Cole was good because he is good. He allowed just 1 run over 7 1/3 with 4 hits and 8 strikeouts, but George Kirby was good too. After the first 2 innings, the big blows coming from Anthony Rizzo and Billy McKinney.
Deep right center. Hernandez back on the track at the wall, and he's not going to make the play. It bounces off the wall. Torres will score. Rizzo gets himself an RBI double, and the Yankees lead 1-0.
Well, the Yankees will take this lead any way they can get it. Teoscar Hernandez right up against the wall, right off of his glove, probably a play that he should make.
High drive, right field, going back Hernandez, turning, looking, see ya! A 2-run home run for McKinney, and the Yankees are up 3-0.
Well, you're struggling as a ball club offensively. You're looking to play with the lead and relax a little bit. Bader gets on, steals second base. McKinney's job, try to pull the baseball. He does that on a 3-2 fastball. 3-0 Yankees.
On the other way, backs up McKinney on the track. He's there, hits off the fence. Ty France in high gear, coming around, getting a wave on by Manning. Kelnick will shut it down with an RBI double. The Mariners are on the board. Kelnick gave that a great ride. His 17th double, RBI number 33. Raheem Suarez, the Mariners look to him to try to keep this thing going. And they get them both. Suarez down looking, and the Yankees win 3-1.
There was a little dust-up in the 7th inning between Jose Cabrera and Garrett Cole. Yankee manager Aaron Boone says it got going between Garrett Cole and the Mariner dugout.
I don't remember, because obviously there was yelling some back and forth at the dugouts. And I was like, why are you yelling at us? It felt like they started yelling at us right away. So I was just kind of getting clarification on that.
Mariner manager Scott Service said Cole was a little upset because how a certain Mariner player likes to milk the pitch clock.
Yeah, Cabby plays the game the right way. Plays it by the rules. He gets in there, and obviously others didn't think it was right. But Cabby's done that since he's been in the big leagues. He's not going to change how he plays. The big home run that McKinney hit early is about one of the few mistakes that George made all night. I thought he threw the ball really well. Second time through the order got into more breaking balls, but you can't ask for much from your starter there. Just had the one mistake McKinney. Unfortunately, Garrett Cole was on top of his game tonight too. So didn't get much going offensively. I thought Jared Kelnick had really good at bats, but just a well-pitched ball game on both sides. And those games come down to one big hit, and they got it early in the game from McKinney. Yeah, JP, the stolen base, I think it was Bader when he got up to go to third. They collided at that point, and JP, banged his right shoulder sore. It's a contusion. We'll see how it is tomorrow.
Yeah, he had to leave the game. J.P. Crawford did, as the manager just told you. Those two teams will play again this afternoon in the Bronx. 4:05 first pitch. Louis Castillo, Johnny Brito will toe the rubber. Root Sports Northwest. All right, the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard. Cleveland walked off against Oakland on Andres Gimenez RBI base hit in the bottom of the 10th. Guardians beat the A's 3-2. Houston's Framber Valdez kept the Mets in check over 8 innings. He allowed just 2 runs on 4 hits with 8 strikeouts. Astros beating New York 4-2. Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve each drove in a couple of runs for Houston. Elvis Andrus drove in the game-tying run of the 8th inning and then scored later in the frame on an overturned call at the plate. White Sox beat the Rangers 7-6. Thank you, Chicago. Clayton Kershaw earned his 9th win of the season, pitched 7 scoreless innings against the Angels. The Dodgers came out on top 2-0. Michael Busch and Will Smith each had RBI base hits in the 8th to push the Dodgers out in front. So with Texas and L.A. both losing, the gap between first and second remains 5 games. Houston moves within a half a game of second with their victory. Seattle still 9 games out of first in the American League West. Wenatchee's game against Kamloops, at least the first game, rained out last night. There's been a lot of rain in central British Columbia. We learn more from our good buddy Joel Norman.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox series opener against the Kamloops Northpaws, scheduled for Tuesday night at 6:35 p.m., was rained out. The two teams will play a doubleheader on Thursday after playing on Wednesday in the series opener at 6:35 p.m. Thursday's game will start at 4 o'clock, first game of a doubleheader, and both games will be 7-inning affairs. Next home game for the Apple Sox is coming up on Friday. They take on the Northwest Star Academy at 6:35 p.m., and it is Bark in the Park night as the Apple Sox welcome fans to bring their dogs to the ballpark, and they will receive free admission as long as their owners have purchased a ticket for the game. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you. You can hear tonight's game. And by the way, the weather forecast looks good. They're going to get some baseball in tonight. You can hear Joel with the call on Sunny FM tonight. All right, to the scoreboard we go for the West Coast League. There were games that were played. Take a look. Calais knocked off Portland 4-1 from our friends at Les Schwab. Victoria knocked off Edmonton 7-4. Bend over Springfield 7-2. Port Angeles all over Nanaimo 9-1. Ridgefield knocked off Yakima Valley 4-3. Kelowna over Bellingham 6-4. That's good because Bellingham is leading us. Non-league game, the Northwest Star Academy shuts out Walla Walla 8-0. So the standings look something like this. The Bells and the Harbor Cats basically tied atop the West Coast League's North Division standings. Wenatchee 1 game back at 11-4. Kelowna just 2.5 back after notching their 9th win of the season. Nanaimo 5 games back. Port Angeles 5.5 games out. Edmonton and Kamloops are on the bottom of the division, 4-11 each, 7 games back. And those are just some of the games that people are playing on this 21st day of June. There's a ton of obscure holidays I had to choose from. Today is Make Music Day, National Seashell Day, National Daylight Appreciation Day, National Go Skateboarding Day, National Day of the Gong, National Peaches and Cream Day, National Selfie Day, International Day of Yoga. But today we celebrate the really tall giraffe, the tallest animals on the planet, the giraffe. We love the giraffes. There are about 100,000 left in the wild. There are about 3,000 in captivity. The population of the giraffe has declined about 40% over the last 30 years, but not really a man-made issue. It's more of their habitat. They're almost eating themselves to death. Fun facts about giraffes. They're fast. They can run 37 miles an hour. That's pretty good, and they get fully go. Of course, they are the tallest on the planet. The average female goes to about 14 feet tall. The average male, about 19 feet tall. They have excellent eyesight, excellent hearing, excellent. All their senses are really good. And their tongue is 18 inches long, which comes in handy when you're hungry because they spend most of their waking hours eating. And they don't sleep very much. They only sleep about 3 hours a day. Giraffes also have adult giraffes, once they get to adulthood, have a high survivability rate. Basically, their only natural predator once they become adults is mountain lions. When they're calves, there's a lot of predators out there, leopards and hyenas and wild dogs. They will go after the calves if they possibly can. But once they get full grown, they're pretty good. They live, on average, in the wild, they can live up to 38 years. That is impressive. And you don't see too many giraffes in zoos. For zoos, keeping a giraffe in captivity is very hard. They need a lot of room, and everything that they eat is 20 feet off the ground. It's not an easy thing to keep a giraffe in captivity. But we love our friends, the giraffe, who has been, they're cool. Probably my favorite animal, I would guess. I don't know. 29 minutes after the hour. Today in history, let's do states. We always do. New Hampshire, one of the more unique states, and here's another state flag where they just took the state steel and stuck it up on a piece of cloth and called it good. New Hampshire is 235 years ago. They became the 9th state to ratify the Constitution, so they're in the Union, June 21st, 1788. The Granite State. As you probably know, New Hampshire has no sales tax and no personal state income tax. There's one thing that they do tax, and that is income from dividends and interest. They tax that at 5%. That's how they get their dough. The legislature is very unique. It's called the General Court, and the House of Representatives in the state of New Hampshire has 400 members. 400 members. They meet every 2 years, and all they get is $200 and travel expenses. The vast majority of the people who serve in the New Hampshire State House of Representatives are retired because they don't need the money and they got nothing better to do. 400 people. The Senate only has 24, so go figure that out. New Hampshire is the only state in the Union that does not require adults to wear seatbelts, and a lot of them don't. A surprisingly large number don't. A third of all adult drivers in New Hampshire refuse to wear a seatbelt. That's pretty interesting. And a 2016 Gallup poll discovered that New Hampshire is the least religious state in the Union. Only 20% of respondents to the Gallup poll in New Hampshire said they are very religious. New Hampshire, pretty unique state. 235 years ago today. 59 years ago today, Andrew Goodman, James Chaney, and Michael Schwerner went missing down in Neshoba County, Mississippi. It turns out they were murdered by members of the Ku Klux Klan. They were down there working on civil rights, voters registration, all that stuff back in 1964. That doesn't go over too well with the Ku Klux Klan and the people down there in Philadelphia, Mississippi. They were arrested for speeding. They posted bail. They were driving from one town to another when they were pulled over by law enforcement, kidnapped, murdered, and buried in an earthen dam. No charges were filed. No charges were filed until 41 years later. We tie into this. Exactly 41 years to the day that Andrew Goodman, James Chaney, and Michael Schwerner were murdered. Edgar Ray Killen, who had previously been unsuccessfully tried for the murders of those three, were convicted of manslaughter. He was convicted of manslaughter 41 years after the murders. On Father's Day at Shea Stadium on this date in 1964, 59 years ago today, Jim Bunning, who himself was the father of 9 kids, on Father's Day at Shea Stadium, pitches the first perfect game in the National League since 1880. His Philadelphia Phillies won. They beat the Mets 6-0. This was 1964. Everybody beat the Mets. A perfect game on Father's Day for the father of 9, Jim Bunning. And finally, June 21st, 1989, 34 years ago today, the case was Texas v. Johnson. The United States Supreme Court rules in a 5-4 decision that burning the American flag as a form of political protest is protected free speech under the First Amendment. Everybody went crazy. Let's do a constitutional amendment. Can't be having that. Never came to fruition. The First Amendment lives. The U.S. Supreme Court at Texas v. Johnson. And at 33 minutes after the hour, 2 rock and roll birthdays. You gotta like that. Ray Davies, baby. All day and all of the night. Lola, you really got me now. Ray Davies, the principal songwriter and leader of the Kinks, who are no longer around, but Ray is, and he's still rocking and rolling at 79. I hope I am. Happy 79th to Ray Davies. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, class of 1990. The unbelievably underrated Nils Lofgren is 72 years old. He's been a member of Bruce Springsteen's Eastery Band now for quite some time. He worked with Neil Young as solo work. His first solo album, just called Nils Lofgren, is fantastic. Great music, great songwriter, great guitarist. Nils Lofgren is 72 years old today. Happy 44th to Chris Pratt. Absolutely hilarious, as Andy Dwyer. on Parks and Recreation. Then, Guardians of the Galaxy. He's a big movie star now. Guardians of the Galaxy, the Jurassic Park movies. He's in all of those. Chris Pratt, 44 years old today, and the man who will be king. He moved up one notch on the ladder back in September when his grandma died, and he's next in line. The oldest son of Prince Charles and Princess Diana. Prince William is 41 years old today. He will one day be king. Man, am I glad we don't have a monarchy here. 34 minutes after the hour. Mike Mignotti's got an opinion. Mike Mignotti's got an opinion. My conversation with Joel Norman. Love to talk Apple Sox baseball. We do it every Wednesday during the baseball season, but it's Winning Wednesday. Our good friends, the Tap Room at Hell Bent Brewing. It's great food, it's great beer, and they brew their own beer and they make their own food. They're at the Pybus Public Market. You got to eat there. You got to have a couple of cold ones. They're really cool people. $50 gift card up for grabs. Winner at ncwlife.com. Winner at ncwlife.com. Get in your emails to me. I'll give it away a little bit later on, but let's meet the guy in charge, Randy. Continuing our series of profiles of the great businesses that have decided to call Pybus Public Market home. This is one of the newer businesses, and it's my personal favorite for 3 words. I'm just going to say 3 words, Randy. French dip sandwich. I've had it about a dozen times, buddy, Randy. Yeah. It is the best I've ever had, and I'm a French dip guy. It's good.
I'm a French dip guy, too. I was really happy with it.
How'd you find that recipe?
I just kind of stumbled upon it. My chef, he just kind of came up with it. That's the first thing I had is because I was like, I like French dip. It almost didn't make the menu either. We're cutting the menu here and there. We're like, well, French dip doesn't really kind of work. I was like, no, I think we should have a French dip. Got it done, and I made it, and I was like, wow, that's really good. So
it works, and you have to eat it with a fork and a knife, which I like.
You don't have to, but yeah,
no, you do.
You do. Yeah.
You do.
It's a little
you
messy.
take one bite with your hands, and it's knife and fork time after that. What would you recommend? I haven't had one. What kind of beer? And he makes his own beer, by the way. He's not buying beer from an outside distributor. They brew their own, Randy. What kind of beer would you recommend with the French dip?
With the French dip, I would go with something. I'll probably go with a red amber ale. It's maltier, stand up to the cheese kind of thing. I'm an IPA guy. I drink IPA with anything though, or eat, drink IPA and eat anything with it. So that's how I was doing.
Randy kind of fell bass backwards into this deal. His wife is from this area, as is his in-laws and the rest of his wife's family. You had a business over in the Lake City area, North Seattle, called Hellbent.
Hellbent Brewing, yep.
Hellbent Brewing, and this storefront opened up here at the Pybus Public Market. It's been a great fit. It's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, it has been a nice fit. We were looking all over, looking at other spots as well. Kind of walked in here and looked at another spot in this building, and this one wasn't available, and then came available shortly thereafter, and I got the call, and I was like, yes, the size was right, and we could, it was nice. I was a little skeptical. I wasn't sure about this. It's only 1,000 square foot, but I think it's in the market, it's been great.
And you've already developed a very loyal clientele.
That's nice, yeah.
When I come here, I see a lot of familiar faces who like it here.
Yeah, we have a lot of regulars. Shake hands with them all the time and see them a lot, so that's good.
Talk about the importance of making your own beer. You brew your own beer.
Correct.
Quality control probably -- on that.
Yeah, we like to have the best hops and malts and all that. We do distribute as well, like all the other big breweries. We're not big, but we're not small. We do quite an amount of self-distribution and distribution, even in this city. So we like to have. The part I like is having all the beers on tap here and actually having a kitchen, so we can and even the hard liquor, so we can make some beer cocktails. That's kind of a cool thing.
And that's kind of different from what you have over in the Lake City area.
Correct. We only serve beer and wine there. No kitchen. It's all food trucks there. So totally different concept. I moved out here. I thought food was a necessity in this space, and I think it's going well. And I'm happy. Daryl, our chef Daryl, he's been doing great for us. So I'm kind of he fell into my lap as well. So that's
you mentioned the French dip sandwich didn't originally make the cut. I'm glad it did.
Yeah, it was on the teetering. It was like, I don't know, it might not make it, and yes, it did.
The rest of your menu items that seem to be pretty popular with the clientele. What's flying off the shelves, so to speak?
Yeah, our rice bowls are great. Growing up in Hawaii, kind of have that Pan-Asian, our meatballs. More during winter, I guess, meatball subs and meatballs, but I mean, the rice bowls and salads have been steady, yeah. But French dip for sure.
Yeah,
bestseller.
It is. It's really, it's really good.
Yeah.
No regrets about the move. Happy. I mean, you're here now, right?
Yes. Personally, yeah, I love it. My kids go to preschool here. T-ball and Kashmir. Grandma comes and watch sometimes. Business-wise, it's nice to have this. Yes, I keep myself occupied. The business, and it's a business, so it needs.
Constant attention.
Constant attention, exactly. Thank you.
I know what that's all about.
Yeah. So yeah, I've been keeping busy, but it doesn't rain as much here, so I like that.
And one last question, I'll cut you loose. Your patio faces the west side. It's going to be remodeled here shortly.
It is,
so you had the best of both worlds. You can dine inside, and nice days like today, you can dine outside.
Yeah.
And enjoy a nice cold one.
Yeah. So this does come down during construction, but we do get a little more patio when we open back up. So, and it should be nice and flat and all nice and brick and all that. I'm sure you guys heard. So, but yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. We're still open during construction, so that's till August 5th. But yes, we are still open. The whole market is still open.
It's worth the trip. You may have to dodge a few construction trucks here and there, but once you're here, did I mention the French dip sandwich is really good? Did I mention that?
You did.
I did.
You did, yes.
Yeah, and they serve it with au jus and horseradish.
Yes.
And I do both. So it's the best of both worlds. Randy, I'm glad you decided to call this place home.
Thank you. Yeah, me too. I'm excited.
And you have my personal seal of approval.
Thank you.
Whatever that means. Thanks, my friend. I appreciate it.
Thank you. All right. Appreciate it.
We'll be back.
Badger Mountain Brewery is your cure for boredom. Jam Night Mondays. Trivia Wednesdays. Live Music Fridays. And Sunday Brunch. There's always something brewing at Badger Mountain, so come join the party.
Transform your windows with a variety of colors and styles like the Allure Transitional Window Covering by Lafayette Interior Fashions. Hi, this is Darren with Mini Blinds and More. We can install the latest and greatest in technology to open and close your blinds with only a touch of a button. From the largest windows in your home to room darkening shades for the bedroom. From stylish shades for your entertainment room to custom blinds for those hard-to-fit places. We have a solution for all of your window covering needs. We offer a variety of window coverings from Lafayette Interior Fashions. Call us today. We are Mini Blinds and More, your local blind store.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
This is Mike, Mad Dog McNutty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, here's something that drives me nuts about Trumpite Republicans. You know, when I say I don't like Trump, they come back with stuff like, yeah, well, Biden's a terrible president, and Inslee's a jerk, and the Democrats hate America, yada, yada, yada. And this is all said aggressively as if I, and I alone, am responsible for the current state of our federal and local state administration. Now, my gripe is this. What makes these people think, and you know who you are, what makes you think that just because I don't like Trump, I therefore like Biden at all? Well, yeah, I don't like Trump, and I don't much like Biden either, to tell you the truth. Political opinions are not an either or situation. Just because we have a limited two-party system doesn't mean any of us have to have a limited two-option opinion. So cut me some slack. This is Mike, Mad Dog McNutty, and that's my opinion.
My name is Anna Marie. I've lived at Prestige here for 6.5 years, and I love it. They just made you feel so welcome. I love my room. I get 3 meals a day, do as I darn well want to. I've loved it ever since I moved in.
Mom's a wonderful, wonderful lady. She deserved the very best, and I got it for her here at Prestige.
Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, located on South Wenatchee Ave, has the largest selection of spas and swim spas in town. Stay cool this summer in an artesian swim spa and use it all year long. We enjoy helping families reconnect one spa at a time. Hot tubs are proven to improve sleep and decrease arthritis pain. Our passion is water, so please bring us a water sample, and we will help you diagnose your pool or spa water for free. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa, your pool and spa experts.
Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. We're switching from the cold of winter to the heat of summer. That can put a lot of stress in your HVAC unit.
Yeah, it really can, Dan. I would recommend that you get a maintenance. It can catch any potential problems that you might have during the peak of summer. And it's just a good idea to do on all season changes.
Great idea. Good advice. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
Welcome back to the program. Every week we check in with our good buddies Storm and Joel Norman, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Apple Sox. It is Monday as we tape this. It's Wednesday as it airs. So via satellite from Kamloops, British Columbia, here's Joel Norman. Joel, can you see me okay?
Looking pretty clear here. I probably should put my sunglasses
This
on.
satellite thing's amazing. Now we're here at Paul Thomas Senior Field. Pretty good weekend. Of course, we're now a jinx. Every time we televise a game, they lose.
Yeah, I was going to mention that to you after Friday's game.
Yeah,
4 losses on the season. You guys have 2 of them, so we'll see about the next time.
Our bad. What do you do? But they turn around and they beat Kamloops in a weird way on Saturday and on a much more impressive way on Sunday. And now, of course, they're in Kamloops after a non-league game on Monday. We'll get to all of that. But first things first, Joel, our first baseman, newsflash, real good.
Yeah. Easton Amundsen is off to an incredible start. 5 home runs already through the first 15 games of the season. You know, the Apple Sox single-season record is 10 in a summer, so not saying he'll get to that, but he's got a lot of time to get to that point as well. But so impressed with the way he's gone. He's come right out of his impressive spring season at Lower Columbia. He had 10 home runs there the whole spring. He's already got 5 here. We're in mid-June.
The league names a player of the week and a pitcher of the week each week, and by golly, he is the player of the week, and well-deserved.
Absolutely. I mean, he's got a 12-game hitting streak going at the time that he was awarded it prior to Tuesday's first game that's set against Kamloops. But, you know, an 11-game hitting streak last year with Bellingham. Now he's got 12 with us. We're sure glad we were able to snag him this offseason. Just an on-base machine. And it was so interesting. The game on Sunday, it looked like, okay, maybe the hit streak's going to come to an end here today. Gets an at-bat in a big 8th inning and cashes in with a 3-run bomb.
He's the kind of player that the other guys can kind of ride a little bit. If they're having a down day, you can kind of count on him, can't you?
You know what's funny? It's him and Brandon Ponce are the only guys with double-digit RBI on this team, and both of them, I think, have at least 16. It's so impressive the way those two have stabilized the middle of the order. And, Dan, you know this from plenty of years. It's not easy to have those bats in the middle of the order be the same all throughout the course of a season. And, you know, the Apple Sox have been really fortunate and blessed early on. They've had 2 really capable hitters in Amundsen and Ponce.
How does the league determine the pitcher of the week and the player of the week? Is it just if you meet this statistical minimum you're considered, or do the managers or the coaches submit a name for consideration? How does the league decide who gets what?
I believe the league ops kind of take a look at how everyone did. I was really hoping if Amundsen didn't get, I would have thought he would have been robbed. I think we had a couple of pitchers who maybe deserved it. Ryan Martinez had 7 shutout innings on Saturday night. Hunter Gibson followed that up with 6 shutout on Sunday. So our pitching's about there with our offense as well. Wouldn't mind if we had both, but it's hard to justify that on any given week.
Strangest 2-out rally you've ever want to see on Saturday night. It was just bizarre over at Kelowna. short story, if you've ever been to Paul Thomas Senior Stadium, you know that the light standards here are low. They're not particularly high. And the light standard that has the cell phone tower on it is very, very low. And by golly, with the bases loaded and 2 outs, high pop-up fly to left center field or left center field, and it went above the light standards, so it disappeared, and they lost it, and boom, 3 runs cross.
Not too bad when it happens with 2 outs, too, Dan. I think that's the great thing, because if there's 1 out and there's no outs, the runner's going to have to hold up. 2 outs on contact, you can go, because you're not going to get doubled off of a base or anything. So we were really fortunate in that instance. I was glad that the game was already tied up at that point, because it looked like you said, it looked like it was going to be an inning-ending fly with the bases loaded, and we're thinking, oh boy, here we go. We'll go to the 9th tied. Next thing you know, the ball drops, everyone score. It just chaotic. But I was joking with a couple of our players recently. You know, it takes a few games for Paul Thomas Senior Stadium to become a home field advantage, and it feels like this year more than usual, that's happened a little bit earlier. The guys are reading balls better on the infield sooner than they usually do, and hey, sometimes those outfield lights come in handy as well.
You're in Kamloops for the second of a 3-game series tonight. One of my favorite stadiums. It's on an island, and they have a whole sports complex there. I believe it's the island is like MacArthur Park or something like that, and then the stadium is inside there, and a really cool ballpark, too.
Oh, just a gorgeous setting. You know, when Kamloops was announced as an addition to the West Coast League, I really thought that was a natural fit, that they fit the MO of the types of towns we have in this league, and that's, you know, in beauty and size. And I just love going up there, and we have good memories going up to Kamloops as well, winning there in the postseason last year, a couple of games in the regular season, having some success there. It's a fun place to play, and I'm really looking forward to what this series will be this week.
Apple Sox finally had a non-league game Monday against Redmond, and that talk about the difference between a league game and a non-league game. No, it doesn't count, but it also, you can see like an outfielder throw a couple of innings, things like that, right? Because it doesn't count.
Well, you know, the nice thing, Dan, about having these non-league games in June, well, for starters, the non-league games don't count against our overall record. Now, we will mark down a record elsewhere for how we do in these games, but they really don't mean anything in terms of the West Coast League. For us, we hold non-league games for 2 purposes. One, to have additional home games to give our fans as many chances to come out and cheer on this team as possible. And 2, to give some new guys some opportunities in the lineup. And the nice thing about this non-league game this past Monday, we had a lot of new guys come in Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then even 2 more on Monday. And everyone got a chance to really get their debut in the lineup. I'll give you an example. You know, we had 4 different catchers come into the roster within the last week. All 4 of them caught this weekend. 3 of them in league games, another one in the non-league game. So it all works out for everyone in that sense, and it really gives head coach Mitch Darlington a chance especially to feel out some of the pitching arms he's not sure about. When guys redshirt in the spring, you bring them to your team, and it's kind of an unknown. You haven't seen them recently. You don't know if things have changed from their previous statistics or not. So sometimes it's good to just see them in person. And, you know, Keegan Adams got the ball on Monday night, and I think that was a really good opportunity to see what he is capable of and how he can help this team down the stretch.
3 league games at Kamloops Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then another set of non-league games against a team I think everybody's familiar with. I think everybody in the league plays at Northwest Star Academy, right?
Pretty much. You know, Northwest Star Academy is run by the same ownership group that runs the Ridgefield Raptors and the Cowlitz Black Bears. In a way, they act as a pseudo-feeder team, although they do send guys to other teams in the West Coast League. But, you know, they're not going to be an easy opponent this weekend, Dan. We've played them 6 times in the previous 2 seasons. We've lost 4 of those games. This is not your, you know, Joe Schmo ball club coming in, and they're going to be motivated to play against us, and I know they're going to be a great challenge. 2021, they spoiled our home opener and the next night. So we will be taking this one very seriously, these 2 games on Friday and Saturday at 6:35.
And some of these players play with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder because they go, hey, I should be playing for the Apple Sox or the Elks or whoever, but
yeah,
that happens. You see it.
Oh, no doubt about it. And a funny story with that, too. One of our catchers to begin the season with us on a 10-day contract, Travis Helm, had played for the Northwest Star Academy a couple of years ago. And, you know, I was looking back through statistics, and I saw that, and I pointed it out to him. And he said, yeah, we kind of came in and busted your chops that year to open up your season. They took a lot of pride in that. So it's an opportunity for those non-league players to come in and prove themselves why they should be on these West Coast League teams.
And then, believe it or not, after Northwest Star Academy on Friday and Saturday, 2 days off in a row, Sunday and Monday, and that's a rare treat in this league, isn't it?
Oh, much needed, too. Right after that, we face Port Angeles at home, which will be good. We really get that whole week in our own beds, getting used to everything. But then it's a really daunting stretch after that. We go to Edmonton right after wrapping up the series of Port Angeles, back here for one home game on Fireworks Night, July 3rd, and then right back out on the road, this time at Port Angeles. So the travel in this league is something you don't get in some other ones. The Cape Cod League, they don't travel like this, but this is what the professionals do. They are traveling this way at the minor league level, maybe flying at the major league level, but the point is that part of our league is to prepare these guys as ball players, whether it's on the field or maybe on the bus going to the next destination.
You think Mitch is going to give the guys, since there's no games Sunday or Monday, and then home games after that, a long stretch of home, he's going to give them just the 2 days off. Just chill, stay in shape, don't get hurt, but don't worry about. Don't think about baseball for a couple of days.
It could be. You know, he might have some sort of light workout. We saw it on the Monday before this past week, before we went off to Springfield. He had a workout here at the field. He felt like the team's bunt defense wasn't quite there. That was a huge issue. The first week of the season, they couldn't defend bunts very well. So they worked on that a lot. We'll see. I think it all depends on how this week goes, both in Kamloops and against the Northwest Star Academy. If the team's focus isn't there, I'm sure Coach Darlington's going to be really, probably trying to just set something up either Sunday or Monday to make sure, hey, we're not going to wear them out, but we got to remind them what we're here to do.
And there's also one other thing they have to take care of, kids camp. Talk about that real quick.
Yeah, kids camp's coming up this week. It's going to be so exciting to have those. Players love those. It's such a great opportunity for them to just interact with kids, and it reminds them why they play the sport, the players and the kids. It's one of those things, you play this for love of the game. Play to win, but you play to do it and enjoy what you're doing when you go out on the field. So excited for those coming up this coming week, and if people want to register for those, you can go to applesoxcamps.com. It's really affordable and a really fun way to just teach your kid the love of the game.
And the kids have a blast. We were here last year during one of the kids' camps, and the kids are just having a great time.
They have a great time. I was talking to someone recently about it. They were mentioning it to me. Their kid might be interested, and I said, sometimes it's not even so much what they learn, but it's the memories they'll have from playing with the Apple Sox. I'm not saying they're going to go there and they're going to learn a tweak in their swing that's going to turn them into, a future major leaguer, but they're going to learn some little things that maybe Dad didn't teach me that, or my Little League coach hadn't thought of that, but they're also just going to have a smile on their face the whole time.
Kamloops tonight, at Kamloops tomorrow, at MacArthur Park. By the way, someone left the cake out in the rain. Then they're back home for some non-league games on Friday and Saturday, off on Sunday and Monday. We'll be back and visiting again on Monday to talk about the lefties.
Yeah, it'll be a fun series coming up with Port Angeles. You know what? They just swept Kamloops this past weekend, and they've had their struggles to open the season in Port Angeles, and got a lot of guys who can hit. The only person with a longer hitting streak than Easton Amundsen is on Port Angeles. So, as always, we expect them to bring the bats when they come to Wenatchee.
But it's a unique setup because, of course, every player on Port Angeles is left-handed.
That's the rule. They have to sign that in their contract.
They have to sign left-handed. We're joking. Joel, it's good to see you, my friend.
Good to see you too, Dan.
Go Apple Sox. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Merry Maids can clean your entire home, business, or vacation rental from top to bottom, inside and out. Merry Maids will even take care of cleaning your carpets, and they can pressure wash your home. Merry Maids has thousands of happy customers. They've been cleaning homes and businesses in our valley for over 25 years. Check out their glowing reviews at merrymaidesofwenatchee.com and call the cleaning experts, Merry Maids, to get your free estimate. Your satisfaction is guaranteed, so relax. It's done.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, they believe your investment success begins with a personalized plan. A plan that is the roadmap you need to navigate your way to living your best years in retirement. D.A. Davidson can help you create a plan so you can take the time to enjoy the finer things in life. Let the financial advisors at D.A. Davidson help chart your retirement future today.
You are ready to earn your BSN degree, and we know you need a special place to take the next step in your career. You are an engaged learner who needs modern labs and equipment, hands-on support, and small class sizes. You're a busy adventurer who needs trees, mountains, rivers, and trails. As a learner, as a future RN, as an adventurer, find it in the BSN program at Wenatchee Valley College.
For those who don't know, this show airs 3 times each weekday. We're live from 7 to 8, and then we replay it from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock for you people who like to sleep in, and then we replay it again in the evening hours. That being said, if you're watching this show live right now in the 7 o'clock hour, here we go. This is the countdown to summer. The summer solstice begins at 7:58 this morning. So in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's summertime. The living is easy. The fish are jumping, the cotton is high, daddy's rich, mom's guy, I can't go any further than that or we'd have to pay royalties. Happy summertime. Happy Winning Wednesday, too. And here it is. You saw my interview with Randy from the tap room at Hellbent Brewing. $50 gift card, $50 to blow with anybody you want at the tap room at Hellbent Brewing at the Pybus Public Market. Get in your emails to me, because that's how you have to go about doing it. Send me an email, winner@ncwlife.com, winner@ncwlife.com. Employees of Local Communications, solely on broadcasting, and their media families are not eligible. Sorry, Rachel. And if you do not enter the contest, you can't win the contest. We'll do the drawing a little bit later on today. Thanks to Randy and the good folks at the tap room at Hellbent Brewing. And did I mention their French dip sandwiches are exceptionally good? They are. From the National Weather Service, summer is here. Weather, not quite. Not a bad day today. A few clouds hanging around. We'll top off at 75. It was a chilly day yesterday. Only 66 degrees was all we got to. We'll be warmer than that. Again, our normal high is 79. We're not quite going to be there. We'll be right around the normal mark on Thursday as high pressure begins to move in and build up. Very little wind to speak of. I'm liking that. The first weekend of summertime for 2023. How about sunshine and 84 on Friday? I'm going to have a hard time working on Friday. Well, I have a hard time working on Fridays anyway. Saturday, sunshine 88, near 90 on Sunday. Looking good for Monday. Looking good for Tuesday. The longest days of the year are here. Bring it on, baby. It's summertime. Have a great day. We will see you Thursday. Bye-bye.